The year is 2006. Humans have long conquered their dream of reaching into space. As man moves forward and expands his influence in the universe, expeditions to further planets and moons are organized. Like the pioneers of old, these space colonists venture boldly into the unknown. It is here that four unlikely such men prepare for a journey that is out of this world. Four idiots, chosen by fate rather than intelligence or fortitude, are assigned a mission by NASA, the National Acquisition of Space Association, to pilot a spaceship out of Earth's atmosphere and to the cheese-covered landscape of the moon. First is the Professor, Joey Stein. Then the Doctor, Michael Berg. Next, the astronomer, Terry Dorf. And finally, the robotic companion, the Tylertron. Unbeknownst to these jerks, their trip to the moon will be cut terribly short, as an evil council of elders bent on their destruction has set up this space exploration trip as a rouse to launch them into the sun. Look at this thing on there. As the morons excitedly prepare for their first space trip, Professor Joy Stein clumsily trips into a bucket of nitric acid. Dr. Michael Berg expresses his concern about the voyage, insisting that none of them are actual doctors or professors, or even robots for that matter. He wonders the validity of this invitation and also mentions that it's very cold on the moon. After some friendly convincing, the pilots are now ready to board the spaceship.
3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
At Mission Control, the Council of Elders rejoice in their flawless plan. Soon the jerks will be crispy and barbecue flavored. Back in the cockpit of the spaceship, the jerks argue over who gets to pilot the spaceship first. Astronomer Terry Dorf pushes his weaker associates aside and takes hold of the steering rod. Giving up on the struggle, the Tylertron searches for the Diet Mountain Dew machine aboard. While depressing a suspicious lever, the Tylertron accidentally switches the navigational systems. The spaceship now receives instructions to reroute to Jupiter's orbit and to land on Europa. Back in the cockpit, astronomer Terry Dorf is having a fit. According to him, the control panel is cheating and won't let him fly where he wishes. Professor Joey Stein assists by arbitrarily depressing buttons. The warp drive module has now been activated, and the jerks are thrown back in all directions from the instantaneous change of velocity. Back at the Elders' mission control, the current flight paths of the spaceship are relayed to the sophisticated computers. The Elders seem baffled as to how these nincompoops were able to change the spaceship's course. And now the spaceship begins its descent to the surface of Europa.
Oh no, my eye.
It seems that the astronomers have discovered the game room and are uninterested in leaving the spaceship to explore the surface. After days of intense space combat simulation, the crew has left their quarters in hopes of finding a Portillo's eatery nearby the crash site. The space explorers have trouble adapting to the strange European surface, which looks nothing like a forest preserve. From behind a covering, the explorers spy upon a group of Europeans marked by their unusual clothing and hairy forearms. The scientists now attempt to parley with the Europeans and barter for Funyuns, Pepsi, and coal for the spaceship's engine. The Europeans, recognizing the jerks as American, attack without warning. Taken by surprise, the astronauts are pummeled into submission. Unable to fight back, the Morons are now taken captive and led to the ruler of Europeans, King Kaiser. The Europeans now escort the captive Jerks into the throne room of King Kaiser the Bolemic. A full court of European guards keeps an uninterested watch over the king. The king addresses the explorers from Earth with fear and uncertainty. Knowing of their innate destructive tendencies, the king is cautious not to provoke or unsettle them. After introductions, the king begins to praise the Earthlings for their strength, wisdom, and cunning, all of these traits that these buffoons do not share. The king then describes the current trouble of his kingdom, an unstoppable moon monster who has become the scourge of Europa and its denizens. The king pleads with the other worlders to help him dispose of the monster in exchange for a replacement spaceship in which to carry the scientists back home. The colonists have agreed to hunt this horrific moon monster and put an end to its lunacy. They receive special moon weapons from their palace guard.
That's alright. Oh, look at this. Alright.
The astronauts are cheered off by the hopeful citizens of Europa.
Alright. Alright, thanks, guys. We're gonna go. Let's go. Yeah, go get on. Alright, let's go. Alright. Razor sharp.
The travelers are sent out of the palace and onto the trail of the lunar beast. Dr. Michaelberg examines a piece of monster debris and places it inside the Tyletron for analysis. As the Tyletron processes, astronomer Terrydorf recounts the time he had relations with a European, to the amusement of all. The analysis is now complete. The Tyletron's verdict is that the sample was very tasty. From this, the explorers can now find the moon monster in a nearby cave. The monster shows himself from the depths of a moon crater. Fresh from a kill, its ferocious hunger is insatiable.
Hey, there he is. Let's get him.
After a tiresome struggle, the scientists subdue the lunar beast, just in time for Christmas. The group now prepares to bring the monster back to the palace as proof of their courageous deeds.
Dude, we were so good that time, guys.
This is a perfect.
All
We're back. Check it out. We have a monster right here.
The king seems astonished by the triumphant return of the heroes.
Oh, what are you doing? Come on, look, we got it. There he is.
The king, revealing himself to be the head elder, reveals a diabolical plan to eliminate the four. Besting every challenge thus far, the explorers have thwarted the elder's outlandishly designed schemes. Seizing the moment, the jerks let loose the tumultuous monster, and the palace falls into pandemonium.
Oh, what's in here? Oh, I wonder what this room is.
The usurpers next discover the grand spaceship docks of the palace.
Alright, come on, guys. Follow me.
Stealing aboard the latest model of European starships, the pilots set a course back to Earth.
We can use this.
Actually, it's not.
No, I think you can take off with this.
The group searches for a suitable landing location for the starship.
What if we did this?
The Elder's mission control is a clear trajected runway. The scientists now engage and jettison from life-sustaining modules moments before their ship collides with the Elder's headquarters. Having safely escaped the Elder's clutches, the jerks will land safely in the Playboy mansion.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Whatever. Whatever. Whatever.